Hi, Karina here, your lucid living coach. Thanks for joining. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm an intuitive transformational life coach and astrologist, and I'm here to give you the update on this new moon in Taurus.
So I'm going to start off with drinking some coffee. This coffee's so good. I put cardamom, maple syrup, oat milk, and some really good, like, oat. It's like either coconut, I think it's coconut milk whipped cream out of a can. Kind of like for hot chocolate, like on top. And I'm telling you, it is delightful. Delightful.
That is so good. I'm telling you. If anyone knows about good food, good wine, nice clothes, and name brand stuff, it would be a Taurus. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. All right, so the new moon in Taurus is happening at 21 degrees. What is Taurus? Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. It's an earth sign and it's fixed. It is the feminine energy. It's actually the feminine earth, and it's fixed in nature because it doesn't like change. It's really kind of like stubborn. And it represents how we provide for ourselves because of Venus the ruler, which rules our money and the things that we enjoy and things that we like. Okay, so it also represents our values. It's associated with the basic needs, like what kind of food can we afford? Okay, what kind of car can we afford to drive? What kind of house could we afford to live in? And what kind of people could we afford to be around? Okay, so this planet that rules it is Venus, and the esoteric ruler for Taurus is Vulcan, right? The blacksmith of the gods. Live long and prosper. Okay, so this is so Tauruses, they're light bringers. They're kind of like, they're very, very young in the zodiac. Aries being the newborn baby, and Taurus being like a 2 to 3 year old saying, this is mine. 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 Everything is mine. So it's what is ours? What have we earned and provided in this physical realm? It's also revealing the right relationships and partnerships in forms of art and opening the third eye. So this new moon is extremely powerful in reevaluating not only our relationships, but our money and what we have and what we enjoy and what we love, and aligning us in the right relationship. So the sun and the moon and Juno, I noticed, we're all at 21 degrees. Now, 21 degrees of Taurus is the sun and the moon, because new moons is where the sun and the moon are on top of each other. They're right next to each other, and they are blending their energies. So our emotions and the way that our vitality and the way that we are feeling are conducive with one another. Now, Juno is at 21 degrees of Sagittarius. And I'm pointing this out because it could be a main character within this new moon. And Juno, I'll get into that a little bit later, but this is a new beginning. And it's like the new beginning's end. And it's because 2 plus 1 is 3, this is a 3, 3, 3. Okay. And this is about mind, body, spirit. This is about the feminine and the masculine energy, and allowing that divine intervention in finding the true inner spiritual union. Okay. Because Juno is like it's the good wife of Jupiter, that it's like this unconditional love. And and her love goes like really deep. Now, the rising for this exact new moon is at 13 degrees of Leo, which is like the 13th house in Vedic astrology is a fucus. And the serpent bearer, she's the serpent bearer. She is opposite of Orion, which is the great hunter. So if I were to put a fucus in the zodiac chart, I would want to put Orion as the opposite, because it's like the god of the sky. Let's say another like the metaphysical, like a fucus, but also like the opposite, which is more grounded, of Orion, which is the great hunter. And hunters, like, they destroy and they kill things, and they also provide. So that's kind of like the human experience that we're having here. And a fucus is a serpent bearer. It's like the feminine energy, in which it's like the depth. It's like the depth. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Lilith, but now that I'm reading up a little more on Juno, she could be Juno as well. Yeah, and Orion, because the hunter, Sagittarius is like opposite of that, with the arrow, which is kind of also like hunting with a bow and arrow. I don't know. I was looking, Jupiter and Orion remind me of each other. And then Juno and a fucus kind of remind me of each other. I don't know. It's just like something new that I'm like filling out right now. And okay, so because Venus is the ruler of Taurus, she is naturally going to be one of the main characters in this new moon. And she's in Gemini. Venus in Gemini is very busy. A lot of information is coming in, kind of bombarding and all at once. Okay, Venus is squaring over to Jupiter. Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Yeah, looks like Jupiter is going to go into Pisces next. Okay, so 29 degree is the last degree of Aquarius. Then Jupiter is going to go into Pisces and eventually retrograde back into Aquarius for the remainder of the year. With that being said, Venus squaring over to Jupiter and trining over to Pluto, that's at 26 degrees of Capricorn, is telling me that it makes it hard to be focused on work. Okay, and I'm not going to lie, it was kind of hard for me to get focused to even do this video. Also, we're not going to want to take care of responsibilities, because Taurus just wants to relax. It wants to have fun. And there is a sense of excitement and optimism and hope with this particular aspect. It's a great time to socialize and meet new people, but be mindful on overdoing it. Okay. This is like playing too hard, drinking too much, spending too much, and maybe entertaining someone and you have other commitments or engagements. So consider the consequences of your actions. This is also overeating, excess drinking, and overspending. Like I said, moderation is key to come out of this aspect unscathed. Your finances could be in serious trouble if you don't. So watch your spending and look over your statements for any overcharges or any scams. Now, going back to Juno. Juno is about sacred union. She is also known as another name, Hera, which represents June, which falls in Gemini, okay, which is where Orion is. And it's the twins, and that's where Venus is. Venus is at 3 degrees of Gemini. So this is a huge focus on those kind of sacred unions, those twin flame unions, those soulmate unions. And Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini, where a fucus is. which is Jupiter's ruler. So Juno is about the deeper union and is similar to Ophiuchus, the 13th sign of the zodiac. Juno on the South Node is about the fears around marriage and commitment and relationships and long-lasting unions, okay? Because Juno is in Sagittarius. And the power struggles in sharing as well. So because the rising's at 13 degrees of Leo, opposite Aquarius at 13 degrees is on the descendant. So to me, Saturn is a big player here because Saturn just popped into during this snapshot of the new moon, Saturn is just popped into the 7th house. So the rising and descendant is at 13:23 minutes, and Saturn is at 24 minutes. So I think that is very significant. Saturn is conjunct the descendant, okay, which is the 7th house of partnerships. This new moon is highlighting, because descendant is usually where we're moving away from, just like the South Node, okay? So I always look at those two. This new moon is highlighting the endings of karmic relationships and partnerships, moving away from the fears around true soul connections and sacred unions like twin flames and soulmates. This is not only romantic relationships, but it's also partnerships like business and careers. So this is a time when these old karmic partnerships are over. So you may have either quit a long-time job or switch careers or considering doing that, or you could have been fired or let go. Because when we are not listening to our higher self in the universe, because we're scared of change, a lot of us fixed energies like Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, and Scorpios, we are made by the universe. So if there's a relationship, let's say a romantic relationship that you have become very codependent on, and you're here to learn about how to be independent, and you are scared to leave that person, the universe will usually break you up so you learn to be more independent. Now, if you listen to your higher self and say, okay, I'm going to be in this relationship, but I'm also going to have my own life, have my own friends, have my own career, and pretty much on purpose with your destiny and what you're here to learn, then the universe will not have to break those partnerships up. But if you're not stretching yourself and you're not growing and learning, evolving, naturally the universe is going to push you towards that. So yeah, know that this was an ending. Okay. Let's say if you did, like, let's say you lost a major relationship or a partnership or a job or a career. Know that the ending of a karmic cycle, that is an ending of a karmic cycle. And it's time to rejoice and be glad that the universe is opening up a new chapter for you. So this new chapter will be manifesting and showing up in the next 6 months, starting after this lunar cycle, which I'm like super excited for. And this, okay, so because this is like the last moon cycle before our first eclipse in 2021. Oh my God. So these eclipses are super strong of 2021. Why? Because we only have 4. So we have 4 eclipses this year, as where last year, which was a fucking madhouse, we had like 6 eclipses, right? So we couldn't even catch our breath. Things were always changing and changing directions, and we didn't know where up or down or where we were going or what our businesses were doing, right? So Thank God that we only have 4 eclipses this year, but these 4 eclipses are the strong ones. So this full moon is in Sagittarius, and it is a eclipse. And this will be happening on May 26th. This is changing things up, okay? Showering us with blessings of luck and expansion and revelations. This is a new cycle of Earth and Pluto trining. It's assisting with the transformation of Earth that we're going through right now. And that's, I mean, exciting news. And because anything that has to do with Sagittarius has to do with Jupiter, okay? And Jupiter being in Pisces, there is just going to be this peace and this letting go, and try not to resist and try to control things, because that's Virgo. And we can't really control things, and we can't really know exactly how things are going to play out right now. And if someone's telling you that they know, most likely they're wrong, because that's just the nature of the universe. Is there's always room for chaos, and eclipses will eclipse things right out of your life and right into your life. And it will be visible in the US, and I'm excited about that. I have plans to go camp in some BLM land and check this out. All right, so back on track. Black moon Lilith conjuncts the new moon, sextile Neptune. Oh my God. Black moon Lilith. I think a lot will be coming up around our shadow aspects of our self-worth, because Taurus is our self-worth. It's what we value, and value around what we feel we deserve is what we entitle ourselves to. So Lilith is about like more of the primal, dark, feminine aspects of us, like our primal needs. This could be control, sex, things that are more of the darker side or taboo side. We're learning to forgive ourselves from like any shortcomings, because we all have Black moon Lilith in our chart, like somewhere. So like none of us are perfect. Like people could think that they're perfect. And my beloved said that he never trusts anyone that wears all white. And to a point, like I could totally see how that is very truthful, because those that wear all white could be projecting that they are pure and clean, and not really showing it on the inside, because there's dichotomy, right? So like on the outside, there's dichotomy for the inside of things. I think that once this aspect is accepted, okay, this darker aspect of self, like this Black moon Lilith is more accepted and acknowledged, we can then fully embrace and accept the gifts that the universe like has been trying to bless us with. This is including like the deep soul commitment and connections, then running from them because the fear of feeling like one deserves it because of their past or their shadow Black Lilith aspects. So I think that once this aspect is accepted, okay, and acknowledge this darker aspect within, this Lilith aspect, we can then fully embrace and accept the gifts of the universe. The universe has been trying to bless us with deep soul connections and commitments, better jobs and career paths, and knowing our value to be able to charge more for our services, and allowing others to be happy. So this transit could stir us to feel that we have to deal with some difficult issues that we might not feel comfortable with. Now, Lilith's sextile Neptune. Okay, this transit to Lilith seeks to open up the person to the truth of what is going on in life when it comes to body awareness, natural sexual expression, food choices, nutrition, health, and well-being, and equality in all different kinds of relationships. So Neptune represents like the fog and asks a person to tune in to the truth, as this disconnection with our higher self can no longer be ignored. So something's been pressing on you, things that you should do, but you're not seeing, you don't want to accept this gift of the universe because of the darker aspects of Lilith and stuff like that. But the subconscious holds the key to overcoming Lilith's challenges. Okay. It is through spiritual enlightenment, protection, and discovery that they rid themselves of the darkness. Okay. Empowerment comes from emotional and spiritual confidence and healthy attachment. So also, Jupiter square to Lilith. It's asking Lilith to expand, to be open, to feel and express itself naturally as it exists in the wild within. Okay. If there are many wounds or unresolved issues around Lilith, they may come to the surface to be healed and put behind us. Fears, anger, frustration around being able to provide for ourselves and give us the things that we desire. Express how you feel in rawness, realness, and authenticity. And that is really what Lilith is trying to express here. Lilith is at 22 degrees of Taurus, which is conjunct this new moon, and she is a main character in this transit. All right, Uranus, okay? Good old Uranus is also conjunct this, but it's not as tight. It's like a 10-degree orb at 11 degrees of Taurus, okay? There might have been, when the moon is coming up, it's going to have a conversation with Uranus first. This could be like an emotional, like, awakening to a certain emotion or feeling that we didn't expect. And then it will come up to the sun to be able to express that in which it just experienced. Now, Uranus always has to do with awakenings or lightning or earthquakes, okay? So this is an earth shake. Shake, rattle, and roll. I say shake, rattle. Yeah, so this could be earthquakes. This could be earth awakening to the karma it's created, transitioning into the new earth, another wave of twin flame awakenings. Okay, this is the transformation of the twin flame dynamics. As the new wave of divine feminines went through the rebirth and awakening at March's full moon in Libra, which is also a Venus full moon. This is the Venus new moon in Taurus, with Chiron, the wounded healer, as the main player in March's full moon. Now, this is that new moon, Taurus Venus energy, grounding the feminine earth new cycle as she embarks on her new path, okay, as her new awakened self, and the wrap up of karmic cycles from the full moon in Scorpio that we just had. So as you can see, there is a braiding and a wave of cycles, okay? We go through timeline shifting. We go through timeline jumping. Everything that's happening now is happening all at once. It's so hard to conceive, but that's how the universe works. It's all happening simultaneously right now. because we're closer to gravity, we have a slower timeline. Things seem to be moving slow. I was gonna say a glitch, but it is somewhat of a glitch, but it's just we perceive differently than what is actually happening. So moving on, your spiritual principles could be in dilemma with your material temptations. Okay, that's one. You will want to overindulge in many things that have to do with the five senses, because Taurus rules our like our 3D experience through the five senses. So like we're going to want to indulge in food and drink and sex and touch and pleasure and shopping and all that fun stuff, right? But try not to neglect responsibilities and work, and just kind of limiting yourself to temptation. Okay, we will be feeling overconfident and over optimistic, which can get us in trouble later because we're not paying attention to the details, right? We're just jumping right in. Venus and Mercury are both in Gemini, the twins, and it's sandwiching the nodal point, the north node. So we're going to be most likely very busy within our friends groups and our friendships and our communities, surrounding ourselves with beauty and the things that we love, all while enjoying and talking and communicating. We will be busy with calls, plans, expectations, obligations, and tasks. Also, a really good time to write, journal, and start a blog or a podcast. Your voice needs to be heard right here. This throat chakra is blue and it wants to be heard. And Gemini rules the hands and the arms. All right, so Cancer, Mars. Because the Venus is in Gemini, Mars is in Cancer at 11 degrees, and it's not very happy here. It's actually really annoyed to be here. It's very moody. This is our masculine energy, and our masculine energy is saying, you need a break. Okay. So the masculine is going inward, and it's letting the feminine kind of take the wheel for a bit and enjoy the finer things in life. Okay. We could get hurt. So be mindful where you step. Sometimes when we don't allow ourselves to rest and relax, the universe will make us rest, right? So you might, if you're not taking the time to rest, you could hurt your wrist, your arm, your leg. You might get sick, because all these things is the universe forcing you to rest. Also, Mars is the masculine and Cancer is the feminine, moon. Okay. So this contributes to our moodiness or sudden bouts of rage, because it doesn't know how to function here. So we could be easily triggered. So just allow those that are upset and moody to just be alone. Don't try to press conversations and we need to talk. Just let the masculine energy take a little vacation. Like I said, our masculine energy wants to just be left alone. The home front could cause a lot more problems at this time, like water pipes busting or breaking, having like water issues or like flooding, or disturbing family affairs that break the harmony and the flow of things. So just be mindful that Mercury Gemini opposes the South Node in Sagittarius. This could be quick messages from divine partners to each other that need to be communicated for destiny of the deep union to be transformed. Messages will come through either like visions or clips of the future. So keep your minds and your third eyes open. Okay. Look around for those subliminal natural messages from the universe, like synchronicities, number synchronicities, as well as animals, animal spirits. Some direct communications could be met at this time also. So I'm not overlooking that. But Mercury in Gemini is all about the communication between the twins, the twin flames. All right. Jupiter at the last degree of Aquarius, that 29th degree, is the first. So 2 plus 9 is 11. That is the first master number, as well as 2 represents the moon and 9 represents Mars. And isn't that crazy? Mars is in right there in Cancer, which is the moon and Mars, and it is quincunxing over to the 13th degree of Saturn in Aquarius. And yeah, I mean, there is definitely some karmic closures. There's a lot of the endings happening in relationships. I mean, this could even be marriages. All right. So, okay. Yeah. So this aspect, the Jupiter at the last degrees of Aquarius, is expanding sudden shifts and changes. Okay. So these sudden shifts and changes are going to be unfolding after this cycle to the eclipse. Okay. And the eclipse is going to set the energetic stage and journey for the next 6 months. It's a new 6-month cycle and journey. Okay. So don't waste this new moon. Definitely put in your intentions. Definitely meditate and think about what it is you actually want. Jupiter does enter Pisces on May 14th. And this is asking us to just go with the ebb and flow of like whatever happens, giving us peace and letting go and allowing the energy just to like lift us forward. Okay. Pluto retrograde is in Capricorn on the 26th of April. Okay. So before this. So Pluto's already asking us to go inward. And I think a lot of people will be rethinking and reevaluating the way that we work and our past karmic connections and our family karmic cycles that were taught, but not needing to be repeated. So it's like family karmic cycles are starting to like shed its ugly head. Okay, shedding of the past, as well as transforming our relationships that we've had with them, and how just because it's our past doesn't mean it's our future. It's really just asking us to just be able to let go of our past and like reset and start over. And how our mothers also had an impact and influence over our value, how we value ourselves, and choices and work and habit and partnerships. So also Saturn's going to be going retrograde May 23rd. So May is pretty much the beginnings of the retrograde season. And I wanted to read you the inside degrees on 3 main players and characters in this new moon to kind of give you guys a more artistic approach to astrology and degrees. And yeah, this book, you can see it. So first off, also, I will be doing a card reading and rolling the dice for a channeled message. So stick around for that. And if you haven't liked or subscribed yet, I really appreciate that. That's how you can support me if you don't, have the money or the resources to order a reading or a transit reading from me, or buy my awesome healing crystal bracelets. I have new moon, I have planet bracelets, and I also have Moldavite bracelets, which is an extraterrestrial meteorite that helps with transformation and protection and extreme evolution and growth in a very short amount of time. It's pretty magical. I've put on quite a few people to Moldavite, and it's just amazing how I just see their lives transform in front of my eyes. As a transformational coach, that is a plus. All right. So Taurus at 21 degrees. It's the title is a statue of Hermes decked with brightly colored garlands. Hermetic wisdom revived. Two extreme polarities, the far inside and the far outside, expressively playful, tricky, fluent, and engaging. Inwardly contemplative, studious, brooding, and lost to the world. Guided from within to stay entirely secluded and solitary in your inner life, yet transmuting your soulmaties into accessible bits and pieces in all familiar contexts. A way to render unto Caesar and still serve the highest. An arduous track, the ultimate challenge to throw the self off and take the self on as an appropriate strategic incarnation under special assignment. So that is the highlight of this new moon as far as the sun and the moon goes, and Juno, which is the deep soul connection and twin flame of Jupiter. Now, the rising is at 13 degrees of Leo, so I'm going to read that one. And then I want to read 13 degrees of Saturn because that is the rising. So the Pars of Fortune is on the ascendant with 13 degrees of Leo, and Saturn is on the descendant at 13 degrees of Saturn. And yeah. And Mercury's at 12 degrees, which is very close. There's definitely a tie there. So the main, where we're moving towards now is about expressing our true, authentic heart creatively through art. Okay, so just like I said with Taurus, revealing the right relationships with forms of art, okay? And your third eye, which is another form of communication without language. Inspired soul gifts. You are endowed with a great wealth of talent and ability, the natural artist, visionary, and a tuner. Everything overflows, huge scope, bigger than life, issues of ego. Can the self be selfless? Raw vitality and virtuoso performance. This calls for a ripening and deepening to be fulfilled. When still bold and wild, you experience great struggle against constraints. When clear and steady, there are no limitations on what can come through. The prototype for the future, giving the whole picture in all of its glory. And then lastly, Aquarius at 13 degrees, a lidless granite sarcophagus. Okay, it's like this ancient, like, coffin, okay, from like Egypt and Rome and Greece. A lidless granite sarcophagus. It is empty. There is nothing to go back to. The past has become a phantom. You are propelled forward into the great unknown. But it is so easy to become somewhat desperate and out of context. So much depends upon how you interpret the fact that you are strictly on your own, without a personal history or heritage to fall back upon. Ooh, that's like letting go of like our karmic cycle and past, like things that we were taught, like starting over, like a reset. This is real opportunity or a strange fate. It is very hard to tell the difference, as it all becomes ambiguous, paradoxical, and very mixed. Where do you go from here? No easy answer anywhere. Perhaps the only thing to do is to acknowledge and move with the radical opening and to put no interpretations on it, assuming nothing at all. Or if you can welcome multidimensionality with truly open arms, it might well turn out that the future was never supposed to be like the past, and that becoming so free does provide an open access channel for what needs to happen to come through a jump ahead of the last moment, synchronized with evolution and beautifully. Wow. That is like really like deep. I mean, could you imagine like completely allowing yourself to be your own divine creator of your world, including what you believe and what you allow yourself to be, like with no limitations, not taking everyone else's opinion around you, like society and your family. What would you choose? What kind of avatar would you create? I think a lot of us create our avatars in lieu of actually doing it in real life, you know, like what we want our avatars to look like and where. We actually have the power to create our life however we feel like doing, really. I mean, we're our own limitation. That's why they always say like self-limiting beliefs. Taurus is about steadiness. It's about valuing ourselves enough to giving ourselves the life that we want and we deserve, and to be forgiving of our shadow aspects, you know, because we're all human. We're all here having this human experience. But I just thought I'd say that. I got a new card deck. The mandala. I got it when I was in Tahoe. So I will pick a card from here first, and then I'll do an animal spirit for this new moon in Taurus. And ooh, freedom. Freedom. I was just talking about that. Allow yourself to be free, right? Liberate yourself from the manifestations of the past, from what is often called tradition. Throw open the cupboard doors to reveal the skeletons and release the crystallized views of your ancestors that have manifested as your genes. Your genes are threads of reality formed by the power of your ancestors' thoughts and feelings. Let us say thank you to all who have come before us for their creations and all that they lived. For in doing so, they gave you options and brought you where you are now. When you were born, you arrived at the vibration of all that the generations before you wanted. You are the manifestation of the expanded previous generations. Each generation's job is to expand even more for the sheer beauty and joy of it. This is the natural flow of life. Somehow we allow ourselves to become living statues, reenacting the experiences of the past, becoming a victim to this. Your genes are a blueprint formed by the past to give you a place to start when you arrive. Your genes do not decide anything you do. Liberate yourself and become who you are. You are powerful. Holy crap. That has been my message. Didn't really plan that to be the message, but spirit just works right through me sometimes. So I'm going to pick a animal spirit card, and then I thought I would pick a either a divine circus oracle or the Alice in Wonderland. I think I'm going to do this one actually. This one. Because I have two animal spirit decks. But this one kind of gives like really in-depth messages. You guys are doing well. Yeah, that full moon in Scorpio, that was crazy. This is the new moon in Taurus, however. Animal message, animal spirit message for the collective. Yeah, we just pick one. The camel. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you do. That's crazy because resources have to do with Taurus, right? Our resources. So let's see what the camel has to say. Camel. Hello. I was in the desert and there was a lot of cactuses, and cactuses have water in it, and camelbacks have water in it. Sometimes it feels like you're journeying across a vast, lifeless desert that stretches beyond the horizon with no end in sight. Trapezing across this seemingly barren landscape before you, your thirst for comfort and solace during these times can most readily be satisfied by looking to your inner resources. All the experiences you had in a lifetime and challenges you've successfully faced, and the wealth of knowledge you accumulated can be called on to not only cope with any type of adversity that presents itself, but to help you move forward with courage and determination. Oh, hold on. Speaking of resources, I just got blessed with 2 bottles of wine. My friend just dropped off, so that was a nice interruption. First, identify where you want to go and then proceed slowly, steadily, and deliberately towards that objective. As you move along, cast away your fears, doubts, and hesitations whenever they arise, letting the 4 winds lift them up to the sun to be burned away. Ease your mind and heart and know that all is well and that you're protected at all times. Call upon those helping spirits who have assisted you up until this point in the journey. You have what it takes and you will get through this. Okay, so this card is reminding me, I just kind of got some information, is this is the Taurus new moon, okay? Taurus has a new moon and a full moon every once a year, okay, annually. Now, the nodal point will be switching into Taurus next after Gemini. I believe it will be switching in 2022. I will be doing a video on the North Node in Taurus and the South Node in Scorpio. But because Taurus is our resources and our value, it's food, you know, it's earth, it's an earth sign. There might be scarcity, okay? And it's scarcity is an illusion, okay? And because the laws of physics states that energy is neither destroyed or created, okay? So with that being said, we always have what, oh my God, my eye. We always have what we need. Okay? There's always going to be what we need, okay, in this universe. The United States is dependent on grocery stores, okay? Farmers and stuff like that for our food. Where you know, I've traveled the world, and in other countries they grow. The farmers also grow, but families usually have their own farms and everything like that, and they can provide food from themselves. Taurus, North Node in Taurus, South Node Scorpio. We could have scarcity, like a kind of like a planned scarcity on food. So be prepared, okay? And just know this card is really saying that you have everything that you need. We might go through droughts, we might go through low points and being able to make a living and provide for ourselves, but know that you're always going to be taken care of and there's no fear. Putting fear and anxiety into the future is not going to help your current situation. You're always going to find a way to eat. You're always going to find a way to be warm at night. Okay. I'm a backpacker, and I could live a whole week with just a backpack of stuff. We might not always live in luxury at some point of our life. I'm sure we have been low or homeless and stuff like that, but we've always ended up finding a way out and being able to provide for ourselves. So I don't know. I don't know why that came through, but it did. And if you're at a point where 2020 brought you down financially, and you didn't have what you usually have, just know that you will always be provided for, and really just think on what you learned from that whole experience. What was the universe trying to teach you? Put some drops in my eye. Divine Circus or Oracle. Oh, I think that was it. That one wanted to hop out. Crown of the Butterfly Bambini. 31. All right. Just as nature imbues the butterfly with an innate ability for radical transformation, so too do you have natural instincts within, guiding you to grow in dramatic, utterly life-changing ways. Progress is your perfection. Growth is your attainment. Do you shun what you have been or mistakes you have made? Or instead, do you wear your ability for transformation as a crown of power? Transformation is an ability, an art, a sacred power. It requires an ability to go through the death of an old self to be reborn again. That death might be an identity, a lifestyle or career, or an inner sense of self that no longer seems enough to truly reflect who you are becoming. It requires both strength and flexibility to be like bamboo, to bend without breaking. You have to be so strong in your sense of your essence that even as the form of your life, your body, your mind, your very soul goes through change, you recognize that underneath it all, there is a kernel of essential, eternal you that is always the same. That is your spiritual anchor within, a feeling of peaceful consistency, even whilst the rigorous of life work their magic upon you, causing you to change and grow in other ways. The flexibility you possess will indicate the extent to which transformation is possible. Are you willing to let go of what you have known, who you have been, without judging it, except to understand that you are outgrowing your past and becoming your future in this very moment? Wow, all these confirmations blows my mind sometimes. This takes great courage. Walt's flexibility of mind allows you to believe there are other possibilities in this future beyond what you have already experienced. The strength gives you enough courage to bear the loss of the known and the terror of the unknown, perhaps even turning that terror into excitement for what may be. Crown of the Butterfly Bambini speaks of the spiritual ability in you to transform. This is not small change. It is life-altering transformation where you pass through a door and cannot go back. It is challenging. It is thrilling. It promises so much happiness, but there will be loss to grieve also. If you are in a transition through such a transformational process, you will know how painful it can be at times. This oracle brings you confirmation that this shall not be the failed initiation for you, but a true rebirth. You have what it takes. You can make this crazy, improbable leap into a completely new consciousness. You are meant to do so. It might seem ridiculous, just like the impossible miracle, the caterpillar becoming a butterfly, but it is part of your destiny. This radical change of which you dream or which you feel swept up in without knowing what it is that is pulling you forward is meant to be. Believe in your own ability to transform. Trust in what is happening. Don't dream small dreams, for you are capable of far more dramatic and colorful creations. You have within you the ability to become a creature so wildly beautiful and free that you probably cannot even envision what you will look like and feel like at this time. All you can do is trust in the magnificence of what you are becoming, the expression of the transformational intelligence and power within you. Wow, what a beautiful card. All right, take a deep breath and say this statement aloud. Butterfly medicine, dreamer of the impossible dreams, you teach me that no ending is ever as it seems. The end is the beginning of a new life for me, so I can fulfill my divine destiny. Give me courage, understanding, and flexibility to embrace my transformational divinity. What I have been and who I am yet to be are the creative manifestations of the one true me. I trust in the miracle of radical growth and the magic of work helping me transform into the wildest and most beautiful creature I could be. All right, so the affirmation for this card, it is safe for me to embrace who I am becoming, a creature so beautiful, wild, and free. So that is a beautiful card. It looks like there's a butterfly up there. All right, guys, let's pick a tarot card for this new moon in Taurus. New moon in Taurus. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, we got 3. Okay, we got the star card, the Aquarius. And we will have Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius at this time. The star is about outcome in mutual love. We have the Ace of Cups. I mean, this is great, positive emotion. And then we have this 7 of Swords that just like snuck up on us. Okay, so the star card represents hope and faith, purpose, renewal, and spirituality. This is something growing as far as like just a loving phase in your life. You're filled with calm energy and mental stability and more in-depth understanding of both yourself and the others around you. This is a time of significant self-growth and discovery. Discover the sense of meaning and inspiration and purpose in your life, which is great because this card follows. And this is the Ace of Cups, and this is about the love, the new relationships, the compassion, and the creativity, which is also a confirmation for this new moon in Taurus, bringing new partnerships, new relationships, and a new outlook on your value. So say yes to divine love and compassion, and you will be emotionally fulfilled when you say yes to those deeper connections. And then this popped out of nowhere. Okay. I think I pulled it this way, on the table, but when I flipped it reverse. So I'm going to read it reverse because this is about self-deceit and this is about keeping secrets. And this card is just saying to stop fooling yourself. Stop. For example, if you started a new business or you're taking a new career path, we can have self-doubts around that. Like, who am I to do this? Like, or if you're being blessed with a new opportunity, you're going to have fears around being able to fulfill that position or that obligation. It could even be in these loving partnerships that are coming into our awareness and into our life to be hesitant on it. Like I said, with the aspects to Black Moon Lilith, our shadow aspects could be getting in the way, and our lack of confidence, which is, of course, our value, right? Who am I to get this promotion, or who am I to be a leader? And so we're going to be probably facing some of our fears around stepping into something new and great for our lives. So these cards are pretty much just saying to allow yourself the freedom to start something new, to be a game changer, to be a leader, not only within society and your own life, but within your karmic past and ancestry, to be able to release that which no longer serves us, to be able to step forward into this new journey that we're embarking on, that has nothing to do with anyone else but our own soul's journey and path. So with that being said, those are some pretty awesome cards. And I'm going to now roll the dice for a channeled message for someone in particular that might be watching this. So we have the sun in Taurus. What? The sun in Taurus in the 6th house. Okay, so because the sun is in Taurus, this is really telling me that when we value ourselves, okay, and our value is reflected in how we take care of our body and our health. So what we are ingesting and eating, our daily habits, as well as our daily routines, what we do on the daily. Like when you wake up, do you have a shot of whiskey? Or when you wake up, do you take a nice calming bath or make yourself some healthy tea or a shake or a smoothie? These are things around your 6th house. And for someone that has a 6th house in Taurus is most likely to be very unmotivated to work. And so I could see that lounging around the pool, maybe working from home, if that, maybe lounging around. But I'm going to pull a card for this Sun, Taurus, 6th house. We want to make sure that we're not just sleeping the day away. It's asking us to know our value and to have confidence in working towards our goals. This is the love charm. Attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. And that is the symbol. If you'd like to meditate on that for this new moon in Taurus, this is a brand new beginning for some people in their daily routines and their work and how they work, because 6th house is what we're doing on the daily for work, and the 10th house is where that daily work gets us as far as our career and our legacy. What are we willing to work for in order to leave behind for the future generations? So with that being said, thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. Thanks for joining me and supporting me on my soul's purpose and destiny as a life coach and astrologist. If you'd like to support me in any way, you can go to the links that I have down below. I have a Teespring with shirts, sweatshirts, and tote bags. I have a Etsy, which has these crystal bracelets. My new ones are Moldavite and grounding bracelets, like tiger's eye and citrine, more the browns I just started making. And I also do toilet seat art. I don't know. Also, my books are on the way. My physical books of Break Free to Peace, Love, and Unity. I'm super excited. They should be in May. So if you would like a physical copy, please let me know. They're only $20, and that money goes support me and my mission in helping the collective one person at a time. And yeah, oh yeah, my workshop. So I'm hosting workshops again, and I have the how to read your basic birth chart, and then I have intermediate how to read a birth chart, and then advanced on how to read a birth chart. So if you're interested in working with your own personal birth chart and not just paying me to read your chart, but actually learning how to read your chart, and then you'll know what transits and what energy is going to be coming up for you, definitely want to look into this course. Right now, the course is only $120. It's definitely worth about $500. So it's a good 3 hours of information. There's a lot to learn. And if you can't make it, if you're not in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, I have links that I could send you of the PowerPoint workshop where I will be talking on video that I'll send to you. So it's $120 for all 3 workshop videos. And yeah, hit me up if you are interested. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. And I hope to see you soon. Peace out, your Lucid Living Coach, Karina.